The rule is 5 uses. However, I only use this 3 times, but I'm decluttering it anyway. Because life is too short to wear makeup that you don't like. Welcome back to the single eyeshadow roulette year-long panning series where the wheel picks my shadows and I have to use them 5 times each. And then I have to decide, am I going to keep it or am I going to declutter? This is a monthly collab with Andy from Andy Does Stuff and Donna from My New Obsession. I will have both of their channels down in the description box, along with anybody else who is doing this series with us. And also I will have Ash from Makeup and Chaos on Instagram. There are 10 shadows in active rotation. I will be rolling out 5. Rolling in 5. Let's see how it goes. This is last month's color story. These 5 shadows here at the top are the 5 that will be rolling out. Let's go over them quickly. We have Sydney Grace So Shiny. This was a beautiful shadow, and I absolutely loved it. That is definitely a shadow that I will be keeping. Next is Sydney Grace Royal Enchantment. This shadow as well, I thoroughly enjoyed. It is a beautiful, beautiful blue. Loved that one. I'm keeping that one as well. Next is my favorite out of the entire month, and that is Sydney Grace Springtime. I have this on in the inner part of my lid. I loved this. I use this way more than 5 times. It is so, so pretty. It is a beautiful shadow, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. That one I am definitely keeping. Next is Sydney Grace Butterfly Whisper, and I really enjoyed this shadow as well. I did not think I was going to, because it's kind of bronzy and a little more warm than what I typically like, but it is a beautiful shadow and it performs so well. Really enjoyed that. So I'm keeping that one in case you didn't guess. And now we have Look-See. This is Nightfall. And it's a pretty shadow, but I just didn't like it. It's very flaky. It's a pretty shade, but it just is very flaky. And I don't know if maybe it's because of the shadow's age. I wouldn't think so. It kind of looks like that Sydney Grace shade, doesn't it? But I just did not enjoy it at all. And so therefore, without giving it the 5 uses, I'm going to go ahead and declutter it. The 5-use rule exists so that you can give each shadow a fair chance, but not to keep using something that has already told you no. Life is too short, and I know the difference between needs more time and this one just ain't for me, and this one just ain't for me. Shades that are staying in is Sydney Grace Desert Sun. I have no use on this one, mostly because it just seems like a fall shade. It's very bronzy orange, and so I just have not created a look that I felt I could use that in. The next one is Danessa Myricks. This is Soul, and it's from the Experience eyeshadow palette that I decluttered, that I depotted. And this is a very pretty shade as well. Again, I feel this too, oh, I'm not swatching that very well, is a more fall type shade. And that's the only reason that I have not gotten any use out of both of those. The next one is Lethal, and this is Bismuth. And it is a very pretty shade. I have this on today, somewhat in the middle of my lid. This is very, very flaky. Can you see it on my finger? You see how flaky that is? And I end up with it all over my cheeks. Not just a little bit. I don't mind just a little bit of something on my cheeks. I'm going to put it up here at the top. It's so pretty. And it just is like butter. I just feel like I need to figure out the best way to use it so that I don't end up with it everywhere. Because literally, before I turned the camera on, I had a little piece of it on the end of my nose. My nose was a sparkling, and like I said, I don't mind a little bit of glittery fallout on my cheeks, but that one is a lot. That one I've used 3 times. This is Gimme Glow Mushroom, and I have this on today as well, and I have used this 3 times, and this is a beautiful shade. The only matte in the whole entire palette for June. And this is a beautiful, grungy, gray-brown. And I love it. It is a beautiful shade, blends out like a dream. It is the only matte that I have on today because it was the only matte in the pan and I wanted to, in the palette, and I wanted to use the shades that were in there. And then the last shade is my nemesis, and it is the Give Me Glow Blue Moon. And I have used it 2 times, and today is one of those times. I have it in the outer corner. It looks extremely intimidating in the pan, but when you blend it out, you can blend it out in a way that is not so vibrant, because look at how vibrant that is. I mean, she is blue. Blue. But you see how it is here on my finger? That is more like what is actually happening on my lid. And I love how this turned out. I don't know if you can see it well with that blue moon in the outer corner, the green springtime in the inner corner, and that bismuth kind of blending a little bit in between with the mushroom around it. I love how this turned out. Absolutely love it. Okay, let's roll in 5 new shadows. All right, let's see what the wheel, the oracle, has for me this time. And we have the Melt Cosmetics Gemulus. I know I'm not pronouncing that right. This is from the Gemini 2 palette. That was the one, the newer one that had the shade in it that was moldy. So I just depotted the rest of those shades and put them in my singles. This is a very pretty shade. It is almost like a brick terracotta type of shade. That is gorgeous. Gorgeous. And what will the oracle pick for us next? We have the Sydney Grace Lavender Hill. I have not used this shade. It is so pretty. Beautiful. That is gorgeous. Those 2 shades actually look pretty good together. And the next roll will be Terra Moons. Metallurgy. Metallurgy. I haven't used this shade either. Their shadows are so buttery. Oh, that's very pretty. That is a very kind of grungy, taupey lavender. That reminds me of grunge lavender or something from Give Me Glow. That's so pretty. Those three shades go very well together, don't they? Ooh, I'm going to like that Terra Moons shade. This is exactly why I am loving the series, because look at these beautiful shadows that I would not be using if I weren't letting the Oracle run my life. All right, what you got next? Next, we have the Sydney Grace Daisy Dream. And this is a very, very pale blue, I believe. It might be a little blue-green. That is very pretty. What? Is that like a robin's egg? It's not a robin's egg. But that's very pretty. One of these things is not like the other one. One of these just doesn't belong. All right. What you got next, Oracle? Danessa Myricks. This is Strawberry Moon, and it is from the Experience palette as well that I depotted. Ooh, that has a pink flip to it. Can you see it? You can just barely see that pink flip. And my lights are probably too bright. Very pretty. Let me swatch the ones that are staying in so we can see the full color story. And here's the new color story. The top row are the shades that are staying in, and the bottom row are what's rolling in. And I have that Danessa Myricks right here. You can't see it very well, but it's right there. What an unusual color story. At least I have 2 more mattes this time, so we'll see what I can accomplish with that. Anybody who is participating in this series that I know of will be linked down below. Let me know in the comments. Are you playing along behind the scenes? Are you getting use out of your single eyeshadows as well? Also, let me know down in the comments what makeup rules you've broken lately. Since I've broken a rule today. Be a rebel with me. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, I'd like to remind you that makeup is meant to enhance the natural beauty that you already are, and we are all beautiful at any age and any size. Find something to be grateful for today, pull your makeup out and play with it, and I will see you in my next video. Okay, love you, bye.